Should we hop into the questions?
Yeah. All right. We've got, let's see here. Let's start with this one from Ward about meditation. And I wanted to kind of like, well, actually, I will answer this briefly first because I have it was sort of a weird non-answer. And then maybe you could say a few things, Jake. So Ward was not able to join this afternoon, but he's going to watch the replay. But he wanted us to talk about this. And so my thing with meditation is, Ward, I totally relate to where you're coming from. And I have tried meditation. I have tried Headspace. I have tried other things, and I have enjoyed it. I have found it valuable, but it has not sort of crossed the cost benefit threshold for me. It's not something that I have decided is worth doing on a regular basis. And so this is one of the tactics that is in the book that I don't personally do. This is a Jake tactic. And to me, that's okay because, like I was saying, I have built a lot of space into my day in other ways, which makes this wireless headphone thing all the more problematic. But I sort of have, just based on my routine and based on things that I do or don't do, I feel like I have a lot of space in my day where I kind of get the same benefits of meditation. So that's my take. But Jake, I know for years you were doing Headspace every day. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on Ward's question.
Yeah, I do. The first thing I'll say is that the Headspace app, for me, that was the one that clicked for me. And there are several. People have been mentioning some in the comments, and there's several out there. You can look in the meditation category, and if you've tried Headspace and you didn't dig Andy's voice or you didn't dig whatever about it, but you're still interested in meditating, do try one of the other ones. However,
there's the one that sort of appealed to me is Oak, which was created or started by our former colleague Kevin Rose, and also designed by our friends at AJ and Smart.
Yeah, and very simple. That one's very simple and free, I believe. So nice all around. I have found that when I was consistently doing Headspace, or even if I could just do it 2 or 3 days in a row, the first day is often not as beneficial. But if I get into a flow of doing it, that there's a noticeable benefit. And maybe it's a placebo effect, but either way, it's an effect. I feel like I'm able to think more clearly, I have less noise, and time almost slows down a little bit. However, I do not put meditation into the same category as exercise and sleep in terms of things that am willing to beat myself up over not doing well. And those don't necessarily have to be the same set of things for you, but I'm not going to beat myself up over doing every single thing I ought to do to live the perfect, 21st century hipster life. And one of those things I'm not going to beat myself up over is meditation. And honestly, I haven't been in a groove of doing it over the last few months. I do it sporadically for a few days and then I drop it. It's just been hard with the things that have been going on. And I don't know, it's depending on what's going on in your schedule, and with the way my schedule works right now, it's not easy to create that regular time where I can habitually know when I sit down to do this thing, I'm doing it. So it's not for me as beneficial as the run or the making sure I get what for me is the right amount of sleep. But it is beneficial. And what I've been using as a proxy for meditation when I don't have time to meditate is this app called Cactus. I'm going to share the link in the notes. Cactus is it's meant to be like mindfulness without the meditation. So it's just basically something for you to kind of consider and think about. You just sort of gives you a prompt and then suggests that you think about it for a few seconds, and you can write a note to answer the prompt, but you don't have to. So the whole thing can happen sort of very quickly. And I've, on my distraction-free phone, that's one of the things that's now a positive distraction. If I'm I'm bored for a second, I need something, I use Cactus, and I don't have to put in headphones. I don't have to be vulnerable with my eyes closed. I just kind of can read it and then and And I like that, but I intend to get back to Headspace. But anyway, I would just say, don't beat yourself up over this if it's too hard. It's worth exploring. It's worth giving it 2 or 3 days before you decide if if you can get into it or not. But if you can't fit it in, like, don't feel like you're falling short or something in life if you're not meditating.
Cool. Next question. Looks like Sharon and I were in Chicago at the same time. Is a highlight still relevant on days that are completely packed full, like travel days? Yesterday I flew to Chicago. The entire day was packed with travel and meetings. I contemplated a highlight, but nothing felt worthwhile enough. Looking back, lunch with my manager in the midst of it was the best morning, or the best moment, but I could not have planned that.
Well, I'll jump in and say that for me, sometimes